Welcome.
Hello.
Hello again. Hello.
Stop it now.
Hello. Sorry.
We've
Stop
only
it
just
now.
started and you're starting already.
Well, I like starting. You know me. Welcome to... oh, a bit of clag.
Oh.
It's a bad start, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should go in and re-edit this, but we won't. Welcome to Frank and Lee's Lancashire Walks podcast number 3.
Yeah.
As you're listening to this, we're in April, but we're in March, aren't we?
Yeah. A little bit of a time lag
A little
going
bit
on
of a
there.
time lapse going on. And it's funny because this morning on my postal delivery, because I'm a postman, for any of you that don't know, you're in Preston, Dave and Wynne Layton,
Oh, yes.
they'll prick their ears up when they hear that. I was talking to them this morning about the fact that they're putting together another podcast, which we are doing at the moment each month. And Dave said, I'll tell everybody you're recording it. And I went, well, yeah, of course I'm recording it. What do you want me to do? I mean, we're not going live, right?
No.
But as you listen to this, it's Friday the...
Oh, what are you doing that for?
Because I
We're
wanted
still
to
in
test.
Well, I don't know then. It'll be Good
No.
Friday next Friday.
But as people are listening to this, it may already be that Friday.
Well, yeah, it
you
may
see.
be.
So I wanted to test you then by
well,
saying it's Friday
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, isn't it? Is it the 3rd? Friday the 3rd of April,
I don't know.
2021?
Well, I know it's
It isn't.
2021.
Actually, as we jolly well speak, it's Thursday the week before.
I have no idea.
So, the March podcast, this all sounds very confusing to you if you're listening to it. The March podcast is going out in April.
Yeah.
Simply because we wanted to do it on Good Friday for you all. As you listen to this, we'll have probably been out for a bit of a wee nimble this morning, or a bit of a roll of our eggs down
Yes.
Avon Park Hill. Not that I've
If
ever
you're
done
allowed,
that.
you know.
What?
If you're allowed, it'll have to be socially distanced.
Oh
roll
yeah,
of eggs,
just think
won't it?
socially distanced
Yeah.
egg rolling.
Yeah.
So you could get your Cadbury's cream egg, right? Not cream egg. What am I on about?
You could, but I mean, you might lose that.
There's no need to be flippantly. One of them bigger ones then with the purple wrapper.
Yeah.
A Cadbury's egg.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in Avon Park in Preston or any other park where you may be listening to this that's got a bit of an hill, and you're rolling your eggs, almost pronounced eggs with an H. Then you roll your eggs down the hill as people
Yeah. Tradition.
usually do.
Yeah.
Oh, you were going to say tradition then, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
This is what we traditionally do in Preston. We don't do it, do we, Lee?
No, I've never done it, no.
Have you never rolled an egg?
I have, but not here.
Do you
When
know,
I was younger.
I have 2 sons, for anybody that doesn't know, and years ago, I remember that one Easter, because I used to take the boys to the park to roll their eggs, but I remember one Easter, the weather was foul.
Ooh.
What would that say?
I don't know.
Ooh. Well, were you trying to do some kind of
Yeah, it was like-
background?
yeah.
Oh, the weather was foo-hoo. Anyway, the weather was foo-hoo that year. And so we couldn't actually go out and roll the eggs on Avon Park in Preston. So what we decided to do
Go on, tell us.
was roll the eggs downstairs.
Yeah, reckless swines that you are.
Steady with that language
I
there.
know. Apologies there, listeners.
That's barrack room talk. And anyway, listen. So what we did, my sons Mitchell and Ryan, who'll probably cringe if they hear me mention them, we rolled the eggs. Well, I didn't. I stood at the bottom and watched these eggs cascade down the stairs. What are you smiling at?
Were you catching the fragments?
Obviously not. I'm an ex-goalkeeper. I never caught anything. But no, I stood at the bottom and watched these eggs cascade downstairs towards me, making all sorts of wonderful noises
Bumping their way downstairs.
as they reached the bottom of the stairs. And the egg was then cracked, of course, inside the wrapper. Anyway, anybody listen to the juice are you talking about?
We've come on to listen to things about all things Lancashire.
Yes.
Yes, that's...
And we don't want to get caught up with people saying, here, we've listened, hoping you're going to talk to us about Lancashire. And here, talking about rolling chocolate
Yeah,
eggs downstairs
Easter eggs.
at home. Anyway, I digress, Lee.
As you normally do.
As I normally do. Welcome to podcast number 3. we've got two sort of things that we're going to be looking at on this one. Firstly, we will briefly have a look at how myself and Lee have dealt with the last 12 months during lockdown. And secondly, we're going to be looking at our favourite spots within Lancashire.
Ooh, of which there could
You
be
didn't just
many.
go...
I did go, ooh.
What did you go, ooh, for? You knew what
I
we were
like-
talking about.
Wow.
You
There's
can't...
a
if
bit
I-
of suspense, isn't it? But they don't know, do they?
I can't announce that and then you go, ooh, like you didn't know. Right, well, now you know.
I do know now.
You know now,
Yeah.
I've thrown it at you, don't
Yeah.
you? So anyway, what we'll do, when we're looking at our favourite places in Lancashire, you've got to choose 3. That's going to make it even more difficult for you. I was going to do 5 or 10.
No.
And that would have put you right on spot because
Yeah,
you
put me on
couldn't have
spot
thought...
now.
I know you are, but no.
No.
How are you talking like that? You're Scottish, for goodness sake. Here, no. You're Scottish.
I know.
Right then, we'll speak Scottish.
Right then.
Hello there, Jimmy. But anyway, listen. See, I'm going to get the back of your hand in a minute, aren't I?
Yeah, you wait till we're off air.
Oh, off air. I like it. All
Yeah,
professional. Just
yeah,
wait
but
till-
showbiz.
Just wait till we're off air, you're going to get you. But anyway, listen, first of all, on a serious note, if I can be serious, we're at the anniversary, or have just passed the anniversary of March the 23rd, which this time last year was the beginning of the first lockdown during the outbreak of COVID. And it's a strange time even now, because a couple of things popped up on my timeline on Facebook, and the things you were writing at the time were sort of all a bit doom and gloom, because this time last year we didn't really know what we were dealing with. I mean, we still don't know fully, but I think we're in a better place now than we were 12 months ago. And for me, it was a little bit strange because, like, Boris came on, and apart from telling us to wash our hands and
Keep a safe 2 metre distance and all that
yeah,
stuff.
stay 2 metres away from
Yeah.
everybody and save our
And stay at
fantastic
home.
NHS. I'm all for that, by the way. But he said, I must tell you now, you must stay at home. And a little part of me thought, oh, great, I can stay at home. But Royal Mail, who I work for, decided that I wasn't going to stay at home. I was going to jolly well walk around the streets of Preston, even if it meant wandering around on my own. And you know, for a few weeks in 2020, I literally was. When I think back now on that time, the first couple of days were a little bit crazy for me, because I mentioned before that we didn't know what we were dealing with, and we certainly didn't. And there was a genuine worry and concern on my part. I'll admit, for a couple of days, I thought to myself, do I really want to be here? And to be honest, I didn't. I didn't want to be outside, because in my mind, whatever was happening was outside, not in my house, you know. But me and the rest of my colleagues and all the other Royal Mail people up and down the country were told that we were going to carry on, and we were going to do the best we could and deliver to people, and without obviously not going and talking about how things work at Royal Mail, because I'm not here talking about the logistics. It's not the thing I do. But we were told to carry on delivering to people's houses, knocking on doors, stepping back, and when people would come to the door, we would acknowledge that they'd taken the parcel, and then, you know, we'd be on our way. But for me, it was a strange kind of time, because I did actually find myself walking the streets of Preston with nobody else out there. And when I'm saying nobody else, I mean, I don't just mean people, I mean like vehicles and that.
It was
You know,
extremely quiet.
you could actually walk down the middle of the road. It wasn't a case of, whoa, I haven't seen anybody today. There was no vehicles or anything, you know. So for a couple of days, it was extremely weird. Is the best way I can describe it, really. And so for the first couple of days after the initial lockdown, I was having a bit of a wobble because I thought, I really was quite concerned because I didn't know what we were dealing with. And then it sort of passed. You sort of thought to yourself, well, come on, I've got to get on with this. I've got to do what I have to do. I knew what I had to do, same as all my colleagues at Royal Mail. We knew what we had to do. It wasn't good. It wasn't nice. But it was difficult for everybody. Uh, what COVID has done is it's touched each and every single one of us in so many ways. I'm lucky in the way that I personally didn't lose anybody to COVID. And I know even people listening to this may have lost people close to them or family or friends. So in that respect, I never lost anybody close to me or anybody knowingly to COVID. So I was lucky in that respect. But it seems strange now with like 12 months on. Like I said, things appear on your timeline on Facebook and they remind you of what you were doing 12 months ago. And a couple of posts have appeared on my memories on Facebook where I wrote stuff which I thought was quite apt at the time. And it's weird to look back on it now because we've passed 12 months since it first occurred. I've had my first injection or my first vaccine. The second one will be in May, and I know that you're going to be having yours soon.
Yes, I'll have mine tomorrow.
And by the time we listen to this, or anybody listen to this, you will have had your first vaccination. Now, I'm not here to discuss the rights and wrongs of COVID. I'm not here to point fingers at people. With everything that's gone on, I'd never faced a pandemic in my life, and I hope I never do again. So, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Even now, just 12 months on, you're able to look and think, yeah, we could have done this, we could have done that. But hindsight is wonderful. And if you do have that, you could sort of see things differently, but we didn't have hindsight. We all of us had to pull together. We all had to try and do the right thing and be there and try and support people and stay home, didn't we?
Yes,
Stay safe.
and the first time round, lots of people, we all stayed home. Even when I went out for my daily exercise,
yeah,
there was nobody about. It was really quiet. But there's more people coming back out now,
yes.
which is to be expected.
More
as
people,
the easing the restrictions.
more people as we speak in March and April 2021 have had their first vaccination and they're able to come out and they've got a little bit more leeway. And the more people that we do get vaccinated, the more people that will be able to return to some kind of normal, if you can call it life. That is something that time will see and time will show us as to when we listen to this, hopefully next year or 2 years from now, we might have passed COVID, but there's a side of the things we're going to have to learn to live with COVID. It could be one of those things that, like you have the flu jab, you may just have like a COVID jab every year. Again, I don't know whether that's pie in the sky. I don't know whether it's something that will or will not happen, but that's for the future. But as we sit here now, a year on from the beginning of it, the things that stick in the mind for me and you are the fact that I'd come home from work and all I could do was go and sit in the backyard.
Yeah, I hadn't been anywhere because I couldn't go anywhere, so that was a little haven, the backyard, thankfully.
Our
a lot of
backyard
people
was.
who don't have a space that they can call their own.
No, they don't.
So we were quite lucky in that respect that we could go and sit out in the private, space with backyard.
And that, funnily enough, is how the backyard vlogs came about. Because last year I was thinking, well, what can I do? What content can I bring to the walking group? Because obviously people couldn't go walking here, there, and everywhere. So my idea was, well, how do we keep this ticking along? I didn't want to stop creating the walks, but I knew before the first outbreak last year that me and you had done a lot of walking. We've been walking for over 5 years now, and we have done over 500 walks. So that meant going back into the archives of where we'd walked, digging out some of the pictures that we'd captured or you captured during our walks, and trying to create walks that way. And when we came out of the first initial lockdown, we were able to go local.
Yeah.
So I have created quite a lot of local walks in and around the Preston area and just the outlying area, simply because this is where we're based. We now stand, as I speak to you, at over 150 walks that I've added to the group. And we're still thankfully going strong, and hopefully we will keep pushing on from where we are. But that's just a little look back on where we were a year ago today, and the fact that the backyard vlogs became backroom vlogs. We wanted to come and talk to you. We wanted to try and lift your spirits and give you a bit of a laugh, because I talk nonsense, I know that. But sometimes if it makes you smile, it lifts your spirits. We didn't have too much to smile about last year. But I also wanted to just keep it simple. And the idea to move on from the backroom vlogs was to create what you're listening to now, which are the podcasts, which are not too long, hopefully, for you to listen to, and hopefully entertaining as we go along. Because these are the sort of things you can grab a brew, you can sit down and have a listen to me and you chatting, although primarily it's always me, because I Mr. Mortimer.
You do hog it ever so slightly.
Oh.
Yes.
I hope that's not. I hope that's not a criticism, Miss Connolly.
No, it's just an observation.
An observation. You're saying that with an air of yes. You see, I can see you. These these people who are listening cannot see your face.
No.
And
it's a good job.
And believe me, listeners, she means every word of it. But yeah, I know I talk. I know I've got the gift of the gab.
You have.
And in some respects that's quite nice, because it keeps everything flowing. But it's great to have the interaction with me and you. And I hope what we do, not only through the walking group, but also through these podcasts, gives people a chance to have a bit of a smile.
Yeah, I hope they're entertaining, and a bit of information that we chuck your way as well.
Well, I think so. I think people find it entertaining, and if they don't, they won't listen.
Oh, they won't, yeah.
Will they?
No.
And we won't know if they do, if they don't listen, because well, I will, because I can see how many people have looked at it. But we hope that it's simple enough that it just makes you smile, lifts your spirits a little bit, and we go forward with what we do. Right, that was our look back on how we dealt with COVID and the lockdown and that. Nothing too complicated. I carried on going to work. I've worked all the way through it. Lee was furloughed for a short period of time, but has been back for quite a while.
Yeah, I've been back since last June, I think. So
yeah. So you weren't furloughed that long, were you?
No, I was to be honest, I was glad to get back.
Yeah.
Bit of routine.
Yeah, I think
and amongst all the madness that was going on.
Yeah, I think that's what people missed. I mean, I know some people have learned to work from home, but I think it's nice sometimes just to escape each other and even your partners, and go to the work for a few hours.
Bit of interaction, There's nothing better than having a bit of a.
We're social creatures, aren't we?
Yeah, a bit of a crap with your workmates and your pals and that.
And I think one of the things that the lockdown has created is this distance from each other. That inability to shake somebody's hand or give them a hug. Wow, how we've missed the hugs, Lee. Well, not me and you, because we've got a bubble, haven't we? And we don't hug a bubble, do we? But
no.
Me and you still hug, and that's about that's about as far as I'm prepared to go in that department. But no, I mean this is the interaction that people have missed. We've all given ourselves and had to give ourselves a little bit of distance, but there are many people listening to this that's what they've missed most.
Is family or interaction with friends, just doing the simple things, the normal things that you were used to doing. And hopefully, in the not too distant future, we'll get back to that.
I hope so. I hope so. Right, secondly, now I'll go ahead and I shall, not because I'm hogging this, listeners, but
He
simply
is,
because
listeners, he is.
No, I am not. Don't make me out as a Marquis de Sade.
Oh, every one of those.
What's a Marquis de Sade?
I don't know. You come out with it. I thought you knew when you come out with it.
The words formulated in my mouth, and I thought, say
Right.
Marquis de Sade, and I
So
did.
you've made it up, have you?
No, there was a Marquis de Sade, weren't there?
I don't
right,
know.
Madam, weren't
I
it?
genuinely don't know.
Right, well, I'll have to look it up after, listeners. I've no idea why I said that, but I don't want to hog the talking. We've only got about another 5 minutes or so of chat. But I'll go ahead and by talking. I mean, we travel, as you the members know, we travel all around Lancashire, trying to capture Lancashire. And everybody will say, well, what's your favourite place? Where do you like the best? Where don't you like? And this, that and the other. And it really does change, apart from my one favourite place. I have one favourite place, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But places do change. And you go to somewhere and you think, oh, I really like this. And then you go somewhere else and you think, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
So that's recurring because of the amount of travelling that we do and the things that we see when we're doing our travelling. It's surprising that the places that appeal to me the most are not really the big ones like Rivington Pike or Pendle Hill or things like that within Lancashire, which are real big, they're the places that people go. You know, I tend to find a lot more relaxation by the side of water and that. I like that. I love walking by water and canals. And my first, so it'd be my third favourite place, would have to be alongside the canal somewhere. So I'm going to say the Wigan Flight.
Oh, yeah. Nice choice.
All the flights of the canal.
Yep.
As you leave Wigan and you start heading towards Chorley and all that sort of thing towards Blackburn. Now, there's a big collection of locks. It's the Wigan Flight of locks, and we've walked it a couple of times. And when you stand at top lock, not the one at Chorley, but the one at Wigan, it gives you this wonderful arena or vista that you look back down over Wigan. And it's really fantastic. So that's my third favourite spot, is that. My second one, probably White Coppice.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody, and there will be a lot of people that know this, and they've been to White Coppice near Chorley, simply because there are so many ways of approaching it. And when you land in it, it's like a time thing, like a capsule thing where you go and you think, it's a picture postcard village.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's got the cricket pitch.
Yeah, little cottages.
The pavilion, little cottages.
Yeah. It's
got benches near the scoreboard. So, yes, anywhere in and around White Coppice, I absolutely adore. My final and my biggie, and you know this because I've spoke to you about it before, Musbury Tour.
Yes.
We've done all sorts of places in Lancashire, and after having said that, I'll think something later, and I'll think, oh no, that's nicer. But this is the thing about visiting places. You know, you go to places and you think, oh, I like that and I like that. But when we climbed up Musbury Tor from Elmshaw, it was a challenge. You know, I mean, it is a challenge. Anybody that sees it, you stand and look up at this monolith of stone and hillside and you think, wow, that's impressive. It's even more impressive once you get to the top on the flat plateau of Musbury Tor and you walk to the craggy end, and it allows you to look down back over Elmshaw and Aslingdon, and it's absolutely stunning. We'll be going again next year, me and you, to pay it one final visit. Because once I've gone next time, that'll be my last visit. I'm one of those people, and I know Lee is like me, where we don't like continually going to the same place.
You might overlap now and again if you go in summer, don't you? But you're not going to the particular area, but your journey may overlap.
Yeah.
An area.
Occasionally they'll do a walk and it'll take you over part of where you've walked before. But that's okay, because you're just passing over it.
Yeah.
But I know some people regularly go to the same place all the time.
Yeah.
Which, if that's your thing,
Yeah.
great, you know. But you make a conscious decision, or I make a conscious decision of places that we visit, and I do want to go back to Musbury Tour next year because I want to photograph it again and capture it in a really nice light so I can get a nice picture and get it on our wall. I know there's a picture of me and you on our living room wall.
Yes.
Of standing at Musbury Tour, and it's a big favourite of mine. So if anybody says to me, where's your favourite place, Frank, in Lancashire?
Now they know.
Now they know, if they haven't already read the ebook that I wrote and put online, This Walk in Lark. I think I mentioned it in there anyway. But yeah, my favourite place for visiting and views and absolutely stunning panorama when you get up there. And I know a couple of people, and Michael and Stu Greenall, and I think, I'm not quite sure whether their daughter Joanna climbed it, but I'm pretty sure they climbed it, and it's just wonderful, just wonderful. So yeah. My favourite place in Lancashire has got to be Musbury Tour in Elmshire.
There you go.
So I know I put you on the spot before about where are your favourite places. You don't have to give me three. If
I don't, like I say, they're not in any particular order.
No,
right?
no, no.
So
but I'm
it's
saying
just places that I think, oh, I enjoyed there. Well,
Right.
Haslington Grange was one of them.
Haslington Grange.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Because that had all your reservoirs, there was hills, there was lots of countryside, different routes, and we had great weather that day that we went.
We did. It was
And
stunning.
it was just brilliant going up there.
And because we came along the Rosendale
Way.
the Rosendale Way from Haslington, we climbed up the Rosendale Way.
Yeah.
And we walked along above Jameson Quarry and got stunning views. And then we visited the visitors centre
Yes, we did.
near Haslington Grange before we actually went down to Haslington Grange itself, and then climbed up the other side to the old slate.
Yeah, there's lots,
where
lots,
the chimney was.
lots of stuff to see, isn't there? Lots of, like, relics of, mining and kind of your slate industry and all that up there.
There's some parts of East Lancashire which are really, really stunning. They really are. And as you said, we were very, very lucky when we visited that the weather was great.
Yeah. Also, Longridge Fell and Parlick, an area. Bit of a hike up Parlick. We went up the rather
we went
steep
straight
way,
up, didn't we, from Chipping?
But absolutely fantastic at the top view-wise. You couldn't fault it.
Yeah, it was
tiring.
It was only after we'd actually done the climb up Parlick and somebody said, which way did you go? And we went, there's a farm at the bottom, I think it's Fellfoot Farm.
Yeah, I think it is.
When you're approaching it from Chipping. And if you look up, there's like a big gorge out of the rock.
Yeah.
Straight in front of you. Well, we decided, didn't we?
Yes.
To climb straight up to the top.
Yes.
And that was that was a toughie, wasn't it?
There was lots of stopping and starting, huffing and puffing on the way up.
And it was
to
only
look at the views, obviously,
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I kept having to stop because I was coming over all particular, and silly old fool that I am. And no, I mean, it was only later when someone said to me, "Did you go up the path?" And I didn't know there was a path because apparently you can come at it from round the side, where the people jump off and. What's it called that? Where they glide with their...
Oh, it's, they're, is it
paragliding, isn't it?
Parasailing,
they jump
like
off
that.
towards Beacon Fell.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a path up that way, I didn't know.
Yeah, well, we didn't know.
So I think it took us about 50 minutes to go up. Took about 10 minutes to get down.
Running down it.
Running down, aye. But anyway, another beautiful choice. That and Longridge Fell, of course.
Yes.
Which we did on a walk from Clitheroe through to Longridge.
Yeah, that was long...
That was a toughie,
I mean,
wasn't it?
fantastic again at the top.
But again, anybody that
views.
knows Longridge Fell, if you go to the trig point and you turn, you got great views up to Parlick and First Snape and up towards the Bowland Ways and all that, so, yeah. So that's your second one?
That's the second one at Todmorden.
Yes.
And Hebden Bridge. couldn't remember if they were actually in Lancashire or whether it was on the.
Well, Todmorden was historical
Yeah.
Lancashire. Ebden Bridge is
More-
over the border,
yeah.
but it's still a beautiful place,
Yeah.
Ebden Bridge. And we visited Ebden Bridge a few times, not only when we walked the Rochdale Canal, but when we've been over that way climbing Stoodley Pike and things like
Yes.
that. But Todmorden and Ebden Bridge, we did a lovely walk from Ebden Bridge back to Todmorden. Along the Leeds, no, it weren't.
No.
We're not Leeds Liverpool.
No.
I'm losing it here. The Rochdale
Yeah.
Canal, weren't it?
Yeah.
And we highly recommend anybody that wants to do any walking along any section of the Rochdale Canal, please do.
Yeah, it is
It's
rather
brilliant, absolutely
really
brilliant.
nice, isn't it?
So, yeah, I think 3 great choices there,
Yeah.
which will bring us to the end of this podcast, and I think that's given people hopefully an idea of what our favourites are,
and
or
that's-
or things. I mean, we changed because, like I said, apart from Musbury Tor, which I haven't changed, absolutely adore that place. I'll go to somewhere else and I'll think, wow, this is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And the thing about Lancashire and what we do is we're still discovering places and showing people places that are very much right on the doorstep, or if not on the doorstep, easily accessible. And like we said before, the thing about what we do, different to anybody else, is it's all done by public transport. We don't drive, neither you or I. We walk places, or we go on
Yeah,
the bus, or
or
we
the
go
train.
by train. And we like to think that our content and our group is showing people all sorts of different places. And if you enjoy it, fantastic, because that's what it is for us. By knowing other people enjoy what we do and seeing the feedback and great content, there's more and more people getting involved and coming on, putting their own content, putting their own walks, putting their own photographs on. We've made so many new friends through this group, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for supporting us, and we hope that you will continue to
It
keep
is
supporting us.
Much
And,
appreciated, because it keeps us going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You know, when you see
And
the interaction
somebody-
and
kind words from people when they come
Yeah.
on and say, this is really nice, or thank you very much for what you've done. Thank you for being members. Thank you for coming on and keeping the whole ball rolling. And while we can keep it rolling, we'll keep going for
Yeah.
as long as we can.
our legs will hold us up.
No, as long as we keep going, my knees don't get out. But anyway, we'll wrap it up there because we don't want to bore you too much. So that was March's podcast. Hopefully, we'll be back again at the end of April, and we'll have something else to talk to you
Yes,
about then, won't
We
we?
will.
So thanks, Lee, for your choices, and all wonderful choices. I knew they would be. Thank you to the members for listening to this, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to your feedback and what you might have to say about this podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't, we're going to come back next month anyway.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it all
We're
again.
going to do it all over again. So thank you very, very much. We hope you all have a peaceful Easter.
Yes.
And here's to looking forward to getting out and about again.
Yeah.
And from myself and from Lee,
It's bye for now.
bye for now. Take care. Stay safe.